Hey guys, how are we doing tonight? I cut the music a little short there. Sorry about that. But welcome in. It's Saturday, Saturday Night Live. It's Saturday where you are still, anyway, unless you're in the future. Some people are in the future. They are. They are. But those people that are in the future, they may be sleeping right now. Who knows? But welcome on in, everybody. It's nice to meet you. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either or. You can just call me Tanya. I don't prefer one over the other. So whichever one you want to call me. Thank you guys for joining me for another live. If you're a returning Titan, I do appreciate you guys so much. I couldn't do it without you. Couldn't do it without you. Plus, I'd wonder where all my friends are. If you didn't show up, I'd be like, where'd everybody go? Hey, Catherine. Did we miss some people up above? Sometimes if you comment, but like at a certain time, we won't see them. Hey, Mary Beth. Hey, Candy Wrapper. Welcome in, everybody. I'm just going to kind of go through and just say hi to most of you guys, but hello to everybody. Captain Ganja, hello, nice to see you again. If you guys missed our live earlier on my other channel, it was a pretty good live. If you like to laugh, at Betty, that's what we did. She really wasn't a laughing. It wasn't a laughing matter. She was trying to read a legal document, and I thought she wrote it. I wasn't, and I'm not the only one who thought she wrote that. So I thought that was pretty funny. Hey, Jamie's Cowboys. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, Lori. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. I don't know about you. I don't know where you're at. I might have to turn that diffuser off. But my allergies all of a sudden have been on fire. Just like the last couple hours. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if my eyes look red, but they feel red. They usually don't look too red because one's a prosthetic, so I can get away. I can get away with it. Hey, Dreamcatcher. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Lori. I said I wasn't going to hide everybody, so I better get down there. Hey, Bay. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. Amanda, welcome in. Convict to counselor. I like that. That's a nice name. Dayton, Ohio. Very close to me. Checking in. Checking in. Hey, Night Star. Hey, Judy. Hey, Mystic Blue. Look at that. Catherine's been a member for 18 months. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to get like a 1.5 year mark and then a 2 year, like a new arm. I don't know. We're gonna have to think of something. I already wrote down new emojis. I didn't notice our emojis game it's slacking a little. We need to get on that. I need to get on that. So thank you, Mary Beth. I appreciate that. I actually got off the live earlier, did a couple things, took this off because I was like, man, this is like, I was getting warm. And then I was like, I'm going to wear that tonight. So if you're on the live earlier, this is what I wore. And now I have it on still. NHGG, welcome in. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see you guys. I did a Night Star. Thank you so much. Maybe it didn't pop up yet, but thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Fred, how you doing? Hey, Tony, good evening. Oh, she's got her little Santa. She's ready. Look. Was that on there November 1st? Tony's ready for Santa. I'm ready for Santa. I'm ready. I am ready. I will say, to put the trees out and get all the lights out. That's just because I love lights. I love the little lights and I love everything about like Christmas. I love, other than the actual like shopping part, all that part, but like putting everything up and making everything look pretty. I love all that. Proud Mimi. It's storming where you are. It's just been cold here. Look at that. Member for 19 months, Cast Life. Oh, wow. That's a long time. That's probably since I've had memberships. Hey, Roro. That's awesome. I love that. I love that for you. And I love that for me. I love that, it makes you feel good knowing that, someone cares about you that long, wants to be a member of your channel for that long. I mean, even if you're not a member and you guys are just here as a subscriber, to hang out with me this long, every night, especially, I'm here every night, y'all. Some of you guys are down with it, and I love it. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. I've decided to kind of curl it a little bit. I was bored. You're very welcome, Mystic. You're very welcome. Very welcome. You've been decorating already? Nothing wrong with that. I want to get like a mantle. I mean, we can make one, but we don't have like a mantle above our fireplace. It's just like a wall, and then like I don't know. It needs something. It needs a little something. And I don't want to hang the stockings there this year. I want to hang them on like something like a wood, like hang them off of it. So I'm gonna try to like build it myself, or not build it myself. Me, I mean, when say myself, I mean Vincent. See if he could build me something. Thanks, Aries. That's very sweet of you. I might have to turn that diffuser off. It's like, what if I don't even know how to do it? That's I think it's like you click it twice. I think I just set it off even higher. It's like a fan. You never know. You're sitting there clicking the ceiling fan. I'm not ready to put the fall decorations away yet either, Nicole. I just bought new ones because they were on sale. So I'm gonna keep them out until the 26th. Or when's Thanksgiving? Everybody, before I forget, do not forget we fall back this Sunday if you are, in this hemisphere. We turn our clocks back Sunday night. Is it Sunday night or is it tonight? It's Sunday night, tomorrow night. Fall back. So that means it's going to be dark at 5:00. And that means if I'm a little weird the next couple of days, I'll get over it. It's just the changing of the seasons. Just the changing of the seasons. But welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. We'll get into what we're going to talk about tonight. Did someone just oh, we had Thanksgiving here in October. Wow. I like that. I like that. In October. Did I say fall forward? We fall back. Yeah, no, we fall back and then we spring forward, fall back. That's how my mom used to always tell me. She's like, just remember you fall back. Like, I don't know why she would say that. Fall back and then you spring forward. I don't know. It made sense. 2 a.m. tomorrow Sunday. Yeah. I know. I was like, wait a minute. Because we used to get before we start the live. And thank you, Pine Needle Protagonist, for becoming a member. Thank you. Do you guys, I don't know if where you guys lived, but where I lived, it was a small town and we had a very loud bartender at a certain bar that we would all end up at the end of the night, in our early 20s. And we would go in there and I was only a couple years that I really drank in the bars, but probably maybe 4 years. But she would every year, like it would be, where they could spring forward, they could like close the bar down early. She would be like, now, it's technically 3:00, but it seemed like, or like 2:00, but it seemed like it was like, early. And she was like, but if you guys be good, we'll leave the bar open. So we were always on our best behavior. So we could have an extra hour in the bars, because we could stay awake then. So earlier today, I was looking for some Sebastian Rogers content and to go with some other content, and then it doesn't go together. So we'll do it on 2 different lives. But I was looking for, just some stuff like on Dog the Bounty Hunter. I mean, actually, look, I was wondering, and I'll ask this question now. And I hope he's correct. I hope he's right. I'm not saying I like wish anything bad on Sebastian or anything like that. But he's so gung ho on telling everybody that Sebastian's alive. And it's almost like, dog, you know something we don't know? Because he's went on like interviews I found him on TV. I found him through interviews saying that. Anywhere he can say it, he'll say it. So I'm just curious as to why he's like so like set on saying that. Now, I was going to look this up, and because this isn't for this live, but I'm still going to look it up. But I wonder if there's like a percentage. I'm trying to think what the watch ratio would be for somebody that's a victim that is alive, presumed alive, or someone that's presumed dead. Does that make sense? I feel like somebody that's presumed maybe alive, like there's still that hope and like people are still like really like, wanting to like find, the person, even though if the person's not alive, they still want to also. But do you think, I don't know, my brain's been like all over the place, today. So I'll get my thoughts together and we'll do it on a different live. But I just feel like I don't know. I even looked, I was trying to look up eloping and, without shoes, like the percentage of like kids that elope without shoes. I couldn't find a number, but I'm going to call around. I'm going to look around because, I know that he was just recently diagnosed with autism. Now, I don't know how long he had, autistic tendencies or traits before he was diagnosed, but sensory is a big one. And I'm not sure if he had sensory issues or, but I do. I have them. And shoes is one of those things. Hey, Southernish. Hey, PsyOps, SSIOps. I was like, who else came in? Welcome in, everybody. But I was wondering if even though his dad said he didn't like to wear shoes, that was when he was younger, right? I wonder if he was starting to go through a period of time where he didn't like to wear shoes because they were just uncomfortable on his feet. They're like a sensory thing. I don't know. Got me thinking today, though. Got me thinking. Hey, Johnson. Me and my counselor were yelling about this case the other day. What did I say? Oh, because she knows. I mean, obviously she knows my diagnoses, but I said, I forget who it was too. It was a creator. They said that people with autism couldn't live like by themselves. Like they couldn't live like a productive life, pretty much. That's what it came down to. And I was like, skirt back. What? I was like, thank you very much. I live a productive life over here. I was like, what? I was like, people that are autistic a lot of times, and unless they're, really, like they're nonverbal or they're, really bad, usually just medication, therapy, routine, schedules, and you're usually pretty good, It was probably Betty. I watched her today, so it probably was Betty. It probably was. She pissed me off today. Night Star. When I was 29, I was still at home. So don't you worry about that. And if I say all the time, if my mom was alive today, I wouldn't have met Vincent because I wouldn't have moved. But so that's like, I don't know, the stars do their things, but I would still live with my mom. I loved her. I loved living with my mom. Oh gosh, PHB. Oh yeah, Mr. Steve Fisher had something to say. I was going to put this in a different live, but we'll go over it since we haven't went over Sebastian's stuff yet. Because I was going to pull up his missing flyer. I don't want to do that if like we're talking about this, but this was pretty funny. So remember today, Bullhorn Betty was trying to read that legal document, and I was like, did she write this herself? I'm like, show the document. Remember, I was like screaming, show the document. I want to see the document because it sounded literally like it didn't sound like she was reading a document where she was like scrolling. Like, you know how you like scroll through a document? Like it was just like, it looked like it was like small print, like a little paragraph she was reading. It was crazy, but he gives us some explanation to that. And it says, today, Bullhorn Betty read an incoherent letter from a man I had to sue a few years ago, JP, aka Justin Pincus. I feel like I know who that person is. Notice a few years, maybe not. In response to my lawsuit, he submitted a completely unhinged, rambling letter to the court. I filed a motion to have it struck, and the court granted it, describing his letter as long, tiresome, tedious, prolix, involved, and loosely drawn. This is why Bullhorn Betty can't show receipts. Her response was a desperate attempt by a mentally ill individual spanning over 200 pages where he complained about my lack of appreciation and friendship for him, despite the fact that I don't know him. Why do people get like that with Steve? It's weird. It's curious. She kept saying another highlighted section. It was not highlighted to the court, so obviously defendant Justin Pincus provided this to Bullhorn Betty. Justin Pincus also never answered my lawsuit and defaulted. He lost like losers do. Unlike Bullhorn Betty, I'll provide receipts. Fuck around and find out. Like, and then these are just, I guess, it was dismissed. Correct the pleadings and to dismiss notice of motion to order to show cause and supporting papers by plaintiff. You know why it sounds familiar? What was that kid? Was that Pincus? Was that on Boy Meets World? What was the kid's name? Pincus? Hey, Reno. Or what was his name? The real smart kid. I think that's his name. I think that's who it was. Because I'm like, that name is so familiar. That's probably what it is. Something stupid like that. And then it says, yeah, rambling narrative. Wrongdoing by Fisher says the time of the court should not be taken in a prolonged study of long, tiresome, tedious. Oh, yeah. So this is exactly what they're going to say when they go to read the injunction. Has anyone heard anything about that yet? Like, has anybody heard about that injunction being seen by a judge? I haven't. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen anything. But I wasn't on YouTube today. For once. Oh, and I forgot to show you this. Sorry. I was like, I was just reading it to you and you didn't even see what I was reading. So that's fine though. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. We're going to have one of those Saturday nights. It's fine. So let's move on. They haven't served, so not seen yet. See, so that to me, okay, I'm going to look that up right now. Hold on a second. Because I was looking into that and they look at these before like 10 calendar days or something like that. Or like 10 business days. Let me see. We're going to be in. Let's see, like it would be, what did I type in last time? Right here. Not in my state, I guess. Tennessee civil procedure. Oh, I'm not reading the whole dang 31 pages. Well, I would. Okay. Injunctive relief. No, I don't know. Is that what this is? Injunctive relief? Wait, go back. It says right here. Okay. A hearing on whether an injunction should be issued. Go back. Should be issued will be held within 10 days of the date you file your petition. If the judge believes, I was reading the front, so let me see, like just the thing. I'm going to end up missing it probably. Here, let me share this page with you. This is like telling us everything. What are the necessary steps to file? It says the judge will decide whether to issue the temporary restraining order. A temporary restraining order will be held, issued under the law and can last up to 15 days. I'm trying to see where that was just, where I was just reading on the, like, it's on like the Google. There we go. Maybe down here, right here. Okay. A hearing for the final injunction will usually take, I don't know if that's what this is though, within 10 to 30 days after the initial petition is filed. And it says before the hearing, the respondent has the option to file a response that explains, excuses, justifies, or denies the alleged unlawful violence or credible threat of violence. At the hearing, the judge will hear testimony and evidence from both parties. I don't know. Welcome in, everyone that came in. I was on the other page. Did someone do something? I'm like, did someone do something? Ohio State won. Of course they did. Aries, I didn't even watch the game. I'm surprised Vincent didn't. He usually watches them. That's really weird. He didn't watch the game. Okay. So pretty much that was what SF had to say about it. Dog the Bounty Hunter, he is saying that he's going to give some of his proceeds are going to go to from his dinner that he's having on the 9th. They're going to go to Sebastian for whenever he comes home. I don't know if that would go towards like therapy or I'm not sure what he would need when he would be home, because he would be home, and I don't think he ever went without. Do you know what I mean? So it's very weird. Anyone but Bama. Yeah, they went a little too much. Okay, so let's share his flyer real quick, because it's been a while since we've actually shared, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' flyer. Dateline, if you're on the live with us earlier, Dateline picked up the story. They called him Sebastian Wayne Drake Roberts. Of course, I commented. I'm just like, are we kidding here? Can't even just double check the name. And you're good, Mr. Rosebud, not you. I was mixing up a couple names earlier, and I was like, oh. Also, I want to tell you this before I started too. There's a Rachel Morin podcast that Nancy Grace did. I wanted to listen to that with you guys tomorrow. And also a Diddy one. So be ready for that. But anyway, so I was listening to this podcast earlier about Sebastian Rogers. It's called Voices for Justice. I linked it in the description. It's let me see how long it is. 37 minutes long. I got through about 25 minutes of it. It was pretty good. It's factual. It's, she's trying to base everything off of the facts. And she goes and she does say, things that have happened with Chris and with Seth, with Sebastian, and things, she doesn't, you can tell she's trying not to be biased towards one party or the other. So I'm not going to appreciate that. So we're going to play this here. And like I said, it's a podcast. Maybe I can find some pictures and throw them up of Sebastian. That way we have something to look at other than this. But like I said, it was pretty good. So we'll listen to it. We'll pause through it for commentary, because of course we're going to want to talk about what she's saying. So if there's a part in there that you guys are like, whoa, what? Put the bomb emojis or like the firework looking thingies in the chat. That way I see them. Or just try to get my attention, and I'll pause it for us to talk about, whatever you're thinking.
Deep in the ocean, an orca pod.
Let me go ahead and fast forward through the commercials. I thought I did that.
Is on the
Brought to you by Shopify. And up to 50%. Go to Shopify per their request or for safe and potentially triggering topics. Upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/justice. Voices for Justice is a podcast that uses adult language and discusses sensitive and potentially triggering topics, including violence, abuse, and murder. This podcast may not be appropriate for younger audiences. All parties are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Some names have been changed or omitted per their request or for safety purposes. Listener discretion is advised. My name is Sarah Turney, and this is Voices for Justice. Today, I'm discussing the disappearance of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville, Tennessee. When Sebastian went missing in February 2024, his case was immediately propelled into the media. And I get it. I mean, I don't know how anyone can see Sebastian smile and not want to help him. But like we've seen in so many cases in true crime, the media pressure of Sebastian's case has hit a tipping point. He's been missing for just over 6 months, and the very few facts in this case are being drowned out by speculation. Despite authorities making several statements about how this is negatively impacting his case, it's done little to stop the insanity online. So today, I want to clearly separate the facts from speculation and see if we can make sense of what may have happened, and maybe tip the scales back to focusing on what really matters: bringing him home. This is the case of Sebastian Rogers. It's about 6 a.m. on Monday, February 26, 2024.
So basically, like she's gonna, it's gonna be played out like kind of like a timeline for you. And remember when Betty said that he called 911 at like 6:03 or something like that, and we're like, no, we didn't. He didn't call till like 6:30 because we just knew. Well, she confirms it in this podcast.
We're in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and Katie Proudfoot goes to her son Sebastian's bedroom to wake him up for school. But when she gets to the door and peeks in, she realizes that his bed is empty. She searches the house and the surrounding area for Sebastian, but he's clearly not there. And really, nothing is gone except for Sebastian. All of his clothing and his cell phone are still there, and all 3 pairs of Sebastian's shoes were still right by the front door where he last left them. All that seems to be missing are his glasses and his favorite flashlight. After doing this quick search, Katie calls her husband, Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. He was working a construction job out of town about 4 hours away in Memphis. After finding out what's going on, he calls the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to report Sebastian missing at about 6:20 a.m.
6:20, sorry.
Within 10 minutes, sheriff's deputies are at the door. And I am so pleased to report that they take this seriously. No nonsense about maybe he was a runaway and he'll be back soon. They check the house for Sebastian and confirm that there doesn't appear to be any signs of forced entry.
So they check the house. Doesn't appear to be any signs of forced entry. So anybody that's asking, did the investigators do a check of the house? Yeah, they did.
And nothing appeared to be missing from the home. So they begin searching for Sebastian immediately. Over 200 searchers are joined by dogs, officers on horseback, and helicopters to search the immediate area. But they can't find 15-year-old Sebastian or any trace of him. So the Sumner County Sheriff's Office immediately contacts the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, or TBI. They issue an endangered child alert for Sebastian.
Mystic.
This is an alert where there is a concern for the child's safety, and information is shared with the news media and on social media. It's basically like one step down from an Amber Alert. They put out the basic information about Sebastian. He's white, 15 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall with sandy blonde hair, and weighed approximately 120 pounds. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. But the next day, after more searching and speaking with Sebastian's parents, this alert is upgraded to an Amber Alert. In Tennessee, the requirements for an Amber Alert are that the child is 17 years of age or younger, the child is in imminent danger of bodily injury or death, and there's a description of the child, abductor, or vehicle. According to the state of Tennessee's website, out of the hundreds of children reported missing each year, they on average activate less than 10 Amber Alerts per year. So this is a big deal for them. But Sebastian is autistic, barefoot, and requires medication. The risk factor here is just higher, so this upgrade makes sense.
How many?
Pounds. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. But the next day, after more searching and speaking with Sebastian's parents, this alert is upgraded to an Amber Alert. In Tennessee, the requirements for an Amber Alert are that the child is 17 years of age or younger, the child is in imminent danger of bodily injury or death, and there's a description of the child, abductor, or vehicle. According to the state of Tennessee's website, out of the hundreds of children reported missing each year, they on average activate less than 10 Amber Alerts per year.
Wow. Only 10.
So this is a big deal for them. But Sebastian is autistic, barefoot, and requires medication. The risk factor here is just higher, so this upgrade makes sense. I also want to take a second to praise how they also got quite creative in their search for Sebastian. Authorities used his favorite song, Eye of the Tiger, in an attempt to lure him out should he be hiding.
When I heard that, like, I almost cried. I thought that was the sweetest thing I've ever heard a police department doing for, like, trying to find a missing child that's autistic that, they say he likes this song and, like, so they're out there blasting it about. Good choice of music.
It didn't work. But it's just refreshing to see after our last few cases where authorities were slower to react and perhaps less enthusiastic about their searches. But the searches for Sebastian do continue. A pond near Sebastian's home was drained, and nothing was found. And a call for security footage from his neighbors and the local area was coming up empty. By March 3rd, local business owners donated $3,500 to establish a reward fund for Sebastian's case. And the very next day, authorities announced that they were scaling back the physical searches for Sebastian. But they didn't stop completely. On March 7th, the Kentucky State Police and deputies from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office searched the Hopkins County Regional Landfill near Madisonville. This is where the trash collected from Sebastian's neighborhood is taken. And authorities were very clear with the media that they didn't have any evidence that Sebastian may be in this landfill. It was just a precautionary measure, basically an effort to leave no stone unturned. And while they were able to pinpoint the exact spot where trash from his neighborhood was dumped in this landfill, it doesn't seem really anything came of this search. But then, a week later, WTVF News in Nashville announced that they obtained exclusive video surveillance from the night Sebastian went missing. I will say that this is not the only video clip that's been submitted in this case, according to Sumner County, but this is the first clip released to the public. And you guys, I know we talk a lot about terrible, grainy surveillance video and true crime, but this clip truly takes the cake. When I look at this video, I see very little. But let's talk about what investigators believe it may be. This video comes from a camera pointed at the back of Sebastian's home. Just after 3 a.m., again on the night he went missing, it captures what appears to be at least two people holding some type of light source. Many people say that they're holding flashlights, but this has been heavily debated.
I'm going to go ahead and flip it over to, well, I'm going to take the banner down. I'm going to flip it over to the Nick Barris video just really quick so we can watch the actual flashlight video. You know what I mean? So that way you guys know like what you're looking at. In case someone is like, hey, I've never seen that video before. You never know. You never know. Let's see. When does he show it? Oh, okay. So we'll just start here.
Sebastian Rogers, Hendersonville home.
It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight. Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from homes in the neighborhood looking for clues.
We have had several clips that have come in.
And this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see, two light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it.
I know, there's not much.
Okay. So that's what she's talking about when she's talking about the surveillance, or not the surveillance. I'm sorry. Well, it is, I guess, the video footage.
And I do want to note that there were no streetlights on Sebastian's block. So it wouldn't appear that these are just streetlights flickering or some odd camera glitch. Basically, what
I think that's why a lot of people had floodlights on their homes and some homes had like multiple sets of floodlights because they didn't have streetlights, which I cannot imagine living in a neighborhood so nice. Actually, I can, but because our streetlights stuck here, but they have no streetlights there at all.
you see in this video is one person in the lower right-hand corner of the frame with, again, some type of light source. You can see a second person move towards the first person before their light source is obstructed by something or possibly turned off. That first person then moves out of the frame, the second person's light source reappears, and then they follow the first person out of the frame. After this, you can see what appears to be one person with a light source moving very quickly in the frame again. And that's really it. While authorities are trying to enhance this video, at this time no one can be identified. And again, we can't see much in this video. But seeing something holding light sources in Sebastian's backyard on the night he went missing certainly feels significant. And of course, with really just Sebastian's favorite flashlight missing, many people believe one of these figures could be Sebastian. As the public went absolutely wild for this video, the TBI made a statement about this clip, warning the public about it. Quote, "Many neighbors and businesses have provided video from home and business surveillance systems. We are grateful for that cooperation. The video has been collected, and from the beginning of the investigation has been analyzed and enhanced where possible by tech experts with the TBI, FBI, and Secret Service. To date, nothing gathered from these video systems has been determined to be significant. We do caution that some surveillance video being shared in the public may have been misrepresented or misidentified, or not shown in its entirety.
That
It
means
has been
altered.
determined that it does not hold any evidentiary significance to the investigation." End quote. But this warning unfortunately did not stop people from sharing the clip, and quite frankly, becoming absolutely feral online. Media pressure is a double-edged sword, especially when a child goes missing. Having the entire world screaming about it can be a very effective tool in generating tips and hopefully bringing that child home. But like we've seen in a lot of cases, Sebastian's case quickly reached that tipping point, where people just cross that line of wanting to help to becoming obsessed and toxic. As the very few facts in Sebastian's disappearance faded into the overwhelming amount of speculation, it did negatively impact his case. At the end of March, the United Cajun Navy joined the search efforts for Sebastian. But just 6 days later, they pulled out of those search efforts, saying their volunteers were receiving threats. By April, the TBI publicly announced that social media has officially become a distraction in Sebastian's case. This episode of Voices for Justice is sponsored by Hers. I think we all know this comes complete with ongoing events for hers.com/
Shopify.
tells the public that they don't have much at this point.
Shopify.com/start selling.
By April 2024, 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers has been missing for about a month, and the TBI tells the public that they don't have much at this point. There's no evidence of foul play, but they're still considering all possibilities.
I just want to say, like, I don't know if I truly hope he's out there somewhere alive, just hanging out with somebody. But to me, Sebastian seems like the type of boy or young man that wouldn't want to get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, so like if he knew that he was missing, like he was seeing all this stuff, or he even heard anything about it, like, and he knew the cops were looking for him, and he would have to see something by now. I mean, it's been way too long, right? For him not to see something. Wouldn't you think he would be like, even if it was like against one of his parents, let's say his mom's hiding him or his dad's hiding him or whatever. I feel like he would want to come out and say, like, here I am, I'm fine, police officers. Like, I feel like he's more afraid of the police than he would be afraid of like getting in trouble with his parents, per se. Like, I'm just trying to put my, like, my feet in, like, his shoes, like, well, it's being that young, I don't know.
A representative for the organization makes it clear that Sebastian's mother and stepfather, Katie and Chris Proudfoot, and his biological father, Seth Rogers, have all been cooperative in the investigation, but they will not state that they've been cleared of any possible involvement. I mean, basically, they have nothing. Or if they do, like I always say, they're not telling us about
They have
it.
nothing.
While a pair of glasses
Thank you,
was
Mary
found early in
Beth.
the investigation, they didn't belong to Sebastian. In May, there was also a photo of a teenager who did look a lot
yeah.
like Sebastian circulating online. It looked so much like him that Seth Rogers jumped into his car to drive to North Carolina to see for himself. But it wasn't him. And while there is surveillance video that appears to show at least 2 people moving, holding light sources in Sebastian's backyard on the night he went missing, the TBI says there's nothing in that video that they consider to be significant. All that's really left is speculation. And this speculation grows as Sebastian's parents begin doing media separately. In most interviews, it's Katie and Chris Proudfoot or just Sebastian's bio dad, Seth Rogers. Now, since we've discussed Katie and Chris Proudfoot, I wanted to give just a quick background here on Seth. While Sebastian did not live with his father, Seth, it appears that he was very active and present in Sebastian's life. He has shared physical custody and gets Sebastian every other weekend and during most of his breaks from school. He says he was about 45 minutes away at work when Sebastian was reported missing, and by all accounts has been quite active in the search for Sebastian. But in an April 6 interview with Court TV, Seth Rogers talks about a lot, and his statements contradict earlier statements made in this case. I found statements from Seth Rogers saying that Sebastian was not known to wander off. Katie Proudfoot has said something similar, that she knew something was wrong immediately because Sebastian was not a runner and had never run away before. But in this interview, Seth says that Sebastian has gone missing 3 times under Katie's care. Which I know going missing and running are not the same. But I just want to reiterate that it appears this is not the first time Sebastian has gone missing, at least according to Seth. He also says Sebastian was sexually abused by a minor in the past under his mother's care as well. I think what we see happening here is that while both sides were a lot more cordial in the way that they spoke about each other in the media at first, that kind of fades away as time goes on.
They really
Now, I'm
didn't,
not saying
though.
these statements are true or untrue. I just see a progression with the amount of information being shared as time goes on.
I mean, we never saw not one picture of all 3 of them searching together. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just saying that just to say, like, and there doesn't have to be, but
And I will say that it also does seem like Seth is finding out a lot about Sebastian's home life right along with the public. Like that Child Protective Services had been called to the home in the past to investigate possible physical abuse. And Chris Proudfoot admitting to Nancy Grace that he had hit Sebastian with a belt in the past. To be honest, there's a lot more out there. Speculation about Chris's past relationships, his daughter that was living with them part-time. As people start coming out of the woodwork to be interviewed, a lot is said about the character of Katie, Chris, and Seth. But my goal with this episode is to try to make a piece of media that is not a distraction from Sebastian's case. I don't want to be another reason the TBI has to tell people to settle down. So I'm going to narrow that focus on what feels more critical to the circumstances surrounding Sebastian's disappearance. It seems that one of the largest points of contention in Sebastian's case is what really happened the day and night before he was reported missing. We haven't talked about that yet. The day before Sebastian went missing was a Sunday. It was just Sebastian and his mom Katie in the house. Chris is away for work, and Chris's daughter is away from the home as well.
no matter what Silvers on the scene says when he says he talked to somebody that Chris works with, which I don't believe, this is what the facts are.
Katie says she and Sebastian took a trip around town, and Sebastian spent a lot of the day laughing, playing with their 2 dogs, and eating a lot of popcorn. But it's a school night. So Katie says that at about 9 p.m., Sebastian tells her he loves her and goes to bed. But about an hour later at 10, she hears him making some noise and hears a large thud. While Katie's statements have been a little unclear throughout her interviews, it appears she did not physically check on Sebastian at this time, but just kind of yelled, "Are you okay?" Sebastian responds that he is, and Katie says that he needs to go to bed. According to Katie and Chris, phone records confirm that they were on the phone for most of the night, and Katie falls asleep around midnight while still on the phone with Chris. Chris tells her to get to bed, and after taking care of her dogs, she does exactly that. But again, it's basically Chris and Katie's word against massive speculation that they may have harmed Sebastian. For what reason is a little unclear. According to Chris, he and Seth were discussing Sebastian going to live with Seth full time. Again, for what reason is unclear. It seems both men were on board, but Chris was still trying to convince Katie when Sebastian went missing. But the TBI has all this information, and even more that may never see the light of day. And 6 months later, there have been no arrests in Sebastian's case.
Looking for family-friendly fun and entertainment? Want to stay active this fall? Then the NT...
One of the smallest yet biggest elements to me...
You enjoy pizza, cake, skating, and more.
That's
For
not be
detailed
very long.
information and times, visit ntprdchiller.com.
Hey, Deborah. I'm looking more into
what
it.
happened to Sebastian Rogers? One of the smallest yet biggest elements to me in Sebastian's case is him not having shoes on. According to Seth Rogers, Sebastian really didn't like being barefoot. So Sebastian going missing without any shoes on is extremely concerning. And outside of some emergency situation like a fire or something, points to him not leaving the home willingly. Or as much as I hate to say it, even Sebastian walking out of that house versus being carried or transported somehow. If he was met with foul play, I think ensuring you take a pair of shoes to cover it up is an easy thing to miss in the moment. Seth is
Well, why
also
talk
adamant
about
that
it?
his son would never leave with a stranger.
Why talk about the shoes then at all? Why not just throw a pair of shoes away or shred a pair of shoes? Just get rid of the shoes. Get rid of a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? Like, why bring it up at all?
Which doesn't make it true, but it is worth considering. Investigators have explored the possibility that Sebastian may have met someone online and been lured away from his home, possibly while playing one of his favorite games, Minecraft. But his parents say that while he did love playing the game, he didn't have online capabilities. Seth Rogers has also stated that while Sebastian did have a cell phone, they also blocked online access on that device as well. And if you don't want to take it from them, his cell phone and gaming system were examined by authorities, and they say nothing of significance was found. So while I think
Thought he wasn't playing online games. And okay, I'm sorry, but if you expect us to believe that that his phone was internet like locked, parental locked, if you will, and he didn't know how to break into that thing in 2.3 seconds, then man, we're all dumb. You know we did. You know we knew. Kids are smart. Kids are really smart, especially autistic kids. They're real smart. He probably had her fingerprints on there. He probably had some black dust going. You know, see what was the code.
whenever a teenager goes missing, it's fair to consider that they may have met an adult online who aimed to harm them. This does seem less likely in Sebastian's case. And again, this doesn't explain why he wouldn't be wearing any shoes. Since nothing was taken from the home and there were no signs of forced entry, a burglary gone wrong does also seem unlikely. Authorities have executed numerous search warrants in this case, and vehicles in the area were tracked down and accounted for. But authorities have also been crystal clear that they have no evidence to confirm that Sebastian ever left his mother's home. At
What
this
does that
point,
even mean?
investigators are...
Will someone explain that to me? How Sebastian... They keep saying Sebastian never left his home. Well, they would have found him by now at the home. If he never left the home, the opposite is he's at the home, right? Southern Fish, thank you so much for the super sticker. Which what is this? The sad thing is we believe the sad thing is can we believe Seth? Did you watch ABJ no channel last night? A person came up and I swear it was Sean. He's living in Florida. If him and BHB got married, they could testify each other. Think about it. Or they can't testify. I don't know. So someone went on her panel last night and they didn't have their camera on and it sounded like him. Is that why I thought I heard that she privated or put it behind a paywall or something? I ain't a member over there. I ain't gonna become a member. Whenever. Yeah, Lori, there's a few that I didn't agree with too, but overall I was like, man, she's pretty good. Oh, she's sneaky. You know, she's sneaky dog. Is it to get the grift up more? To get more people in the chat? I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Wish I could.
Still considering all options.
Wonder if it's back out there
While
yet.
Chris and Katie Proudfoot have announced to the media that they've been
Over here,
cleared
you
in Sebastian's case,
nosy. I'm
Sebastian's
nosy.
father Seth has recently said that no one has been cleared. Not Katie, Chris, or himself. And while authorities have said multiple times that Sebastian's parents and family have all been cooperative, they do seem to really reiterate this sentiment that nothing is off the table. As of just a few weeks before this episode airs, the FBI and TBI reiterate that there's no evidence of foul play, and that there's no
I
evidence
saw
that
that.
Sebastian's mother, biological father, or stepfather are involved in his disappearance. So what we're being told is that they are being cooperative. There's no evidence to suggest foul play or that his parents are involved. They're still not taking anything off the table. While it feels that we have few facts and a lot of speculation in this case, I'd argue that there's still hope that Sebastian can be found. Which brings me right to our call to action. While Sebastian's case feels incredibly frustrating because we have so little information, it is still very active. And I have a feeling that law enforcement knows a lot more than they're saying. The week of recording this episode, teams were still conducting searches for Sebastian. At the end of August 2024, the FBI announced a $50,000 reward for information leading to Sebastian. And in September, his family partnered with Dwayne Chapman, aka Dog the Bounty Hunter. He says he thinks Sebastian's alive and he's going to bring him home. He's also advertising a $100,000 reward. And Seth Rogers has been extremely vocal that he still needs people to help share his son's case.
Well,
So
yeah.
please share.
Please share.
As a reminder, Sebastian Rogers was 15 years old when he was last seen in February 2024 in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He is white, and at that time he was 5 foot 5 inches tall with sandy blonde hair and weighed approximately 120 pounds. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses.
He was actually last seen wearing a shirt like he's wearing right here. A black long sleeve t-shirt type shirt. Just like something like this. And they said it had either Halloween on it, like Michael Myers was. He said it was a design. Or a gaming thing. But it could have been even this little Hurley shirt. A lot of the shirts we see Sebastian in, I've seen him at least 2 or 3. He's wearing a long sleeve black shirt.
Does have known medical conditions.
It's like his.
Anyone with
like.
information is asked to call the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Where do we call TBI?
But as always, thank you, I love you, and I'll talk to you next time. Voices for Justice is hosted.
Wow, 11 more minutes. I was like, oh, that was 11. We had 11 minutes still left on that, but I guess not. So that person that maybe had Seth or something or Sean on her panel, they it's back up. But I don't know if they edited that part out. Man, 4-hour live. I mean, I guess we do long lives here sometimes, like 3 hours, but 4 hours, that's a long time. Oh, let me get the banner or this down and me back up. Well, I'm like, well, stuck down there for a minute. I was stuck. I really don't have that much to go over with you guys. I was just going to go over like that podcast. It went pretty quick though. Now Betty does have court in a few weeks, couple weeks. Man, let's think about that. If Sean too, if Seth moves, I mean, because he can move. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. That guy on Brittany panel is all things serious. Oh, okay. Oh, unless it was someone else. Okay, yeah, because all things serious, he has a distinctive voice. Very distinctive voice. Like very distinct. It's like, really deep and like, I don't know. It's just very I like his voice. He has a good voice. He has a good voice for like, he should do podcast. I know he does YouTube, but he should do podcast too. I know they do say black sweatshirt, yeah. But whenever the parents were talking about it, they said black long sleeve shirt in the beginning anyway. So I don't know, but they never did, We'll do Rachel tomorrow. But did you see that her mom got to see him in court, the man that unalived her, and I couldn't imagine that. Can Betty plead guilty or not guilty at the court hearing when it goes to trial, or is it one and done? So no, she can plead. She can plead like not guilty. That's what she's doing right now. But when it goes to, I don't know if it's going to be like a bench trial where it's just the judge, or if she's going to have like an actual like jury. That's the one thing I don't know. But if she pleads not guilty, it's just like a regular trial, then yeah. I mean, you can come back and you can say, okay, yeah, I'm guilty. I want a deal. A lot of times you could do that in some cases like this, like these, like not high felonies, but it's a bench trial. I would want a bench trial if I was her. I'd ask for a bench trial. That's just me personally. I don't know. But where I grew up, we had the best judges. We had the best judges. I don't know if we say they were the best, but a lot of people got away with a lot of stuff, I guess. I don't know. No, they were really good. They were really good judges. And we always had men. And then all of a sudden we had this woman, and her name was Eddie. Last name Eddie. You didn't mess around no more. Nobody messed around. Everybody was like standing up, sitting up straight. She was something else. And did you see where they were, the active shooter was in Nashville? I just happened to be on Twitter because I was going to see if I'll check right now. I was going to see if there's anything about Sebastian on here. Sometimes you always see something or hear something. But I can't believe dog, man. In this picture that dog put up, why do these people look like they're fake? Let me show you this. Like, why are people looking fake? Why is everyone looking fake? Why does everybody want to look fake? Does he not realize these people, okay, people are going to see them in person at this meet and greet. Is it going to be like, are we going to be scared? Her head looks like I don't know what happened to her. I'm not saying nothing. She's a pretty girl, but it looks like they filtered her too much. They filtered her. They took her whole neck out. And I don't think she's supposed to look like that. I think, And then the other guy, he's wearing latex. Now, I'm not saying nothing about the latex, but Yeah, it's like a latex leather t-shirt. Wonder how it is to get that thing off. That's definitely an inside out roll. You're not getting that off no comfortable. There's an app. Is it Southernish? I don't see, man, I don't know about these apps. I want a cartoon character. I want me to be like a cartoon character because that's what a lot of people are doing. And you all know who you are. We all know you. I like it when it looks like it's like somebody like just completely out of this world. I don't even know, like an avatar. Like literally like Avatar the movie. Yeah, you'd have to cut him out, bad boy. Vincent would never wear that, Captain Ganja. I would like to buy it for him just to see his face. He would be like, "Is that for you?" See, yeah, just like looking like, yeah, look like you. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind a good like I don't mind a good filter when when I'm out like and the sun's like doing something funky or something's going weird with the lighting. But yeah, not I mean, people will meet you eventually, right? Vincent is very wise. He is. He's very wise. Well, look who he's with. He's with me. It's Beth was the coolest thing about the dog. When he married her, he knows it. I mean, he even says his new wife gives him time to grieve Beth. I don't know how I would feel about that. But then again, I wouldn't marry a man 3 years after his wife died of cancer. Wouldn't. Nope. Nope. That's not like you guys ended on bad terms like most marriages. Do you know what I mean? Where like I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how. I mean, maybe that's good for her to be able to give that to him, but I don't know if I could do that. I would not want to. Yeah. Oh, it was less than a year. Oh, I thought it was a few years. Oh, then that's even worse. How could you do that? Okay, I understand. No, I know how you can. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone. The older you get, the more I'm sure it hits you. I'm 39 and I'm like, I don't want to be by myself when I'm old. That's why I got to take care of this guy. Yes, played second fiddle to Beth. Yeah, it was desperate. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that was that far, like right after what? Ugh. Dog, can you not say anything about Chris's marriages? Because I think you did say something about his marriages, and you've had just as many. It's crazy. Oh, Mandy said the kids weren't happy that he married her because of the short time frame of Beth's passing, and I'd have to agree with them. Yeah, I mean, that's too fast. My mom couldn't even say my dad. I told you this before. It took my mom 6 years before she could say Kenny or Ken without crying. The first time she did it, it was to her counselor, and her counselor stopped her and was like, "Oh my gosh, like breakthrough, huge breakthrough," right? My mom came home and told me she was so happy about it. Like she was happy that she was in a spot where she could talk about him and not cry. Men can't be alone. They can't. Well, no, Vincent can. Vincent can. He's not like any guy though that I've ever met. He can sit in the silence. That's what he's sitting in the silence right now. I bet. I bet he's not watching nothing. We have these huge TVs. Won't watch nothing on them, and he'll sit in silence. It'll be like crickets. And I'm from a musical family, like harmonicas, guitars, music, loud music, up, down, up, down. My dad used to like to do that, like turn it all the way up, turn it all the way down. So I'm used to like music, and that's what gets me going. You know what I mean? Like if I'm tired and I need a little boost of energy, where's my music? Put on my music. And I listen to everything. I listen to everything. I've been listening to a lot of like soulful music lately. I feel like Mr. Rosebud said my mom Been a widow for 5 years. She says no man will ever enter her life again. She'll meet my dad when she met my dad when she was 14. Oh, give her a hug for me. My mom used to say the same thing about my dad. They were together. My dad was 19 and my mom was 20. I want to say 27. They were like 9 years apart. Majestic Blue. That's it. Yeah, we never watched TV. I used to put it on News Nation. So we were literally paying like our, for cable, and we were paying for me to watch News Nation every once in a while. And Vincent was like, can I just like not get to have the cable and just do Roku, or we could do even like Apple TV or whatever like you want, like, YouTube TV, like just something we'll actually watch. So that's what we ended up doing. Oh, SF, he just said that Betty's dumb when she tried to read that document today on her live. We did a live on the other channel. So he just said that like he'll provide receipts, and that guy, even the judge said he was wasting his time, and the judge did say that about that other guy. So she was just reading portions and excerpts that sounded good, just like we thought she was. I think it's up to 73 states now, Sam said. I don't think it is. That's what I was just talking about earlier. They usually will have like the filing, and they'll have like an answer or whatever within 10 to 15 days, and it's been over that. I need to start liking my TVs more. That's funny, 73 states. They're just making up states at this point, Tanya's going to be a state. Tennessee gal, see? Like, you don't even need a TV when you have YouTube. You got us. We're a whole shit show. If you go to the other channel, we usually are over there. We are usually a shit show on that channel. Who is he not with? Oh, 54 years Southernish. It is rare. My parents were married for 30 years when my dad passed. And they both had like their final words were perfect, and like just everything was perfect for them. So I'm glad that, at the end, they went through it all, but they were always willing to go through it together, Oh, Mr. Rosebud, that's sweet. Wish my mom was here so I could hug her. I say that, but I don't want you to feel bad for me. Like when I say that, those things, because I wish she was here so I could hug her, but then I don't know if I'd want her to be around with all this madness, she'd probably be hanging out with me. Ooh, people used to say I don't look anything like Natalie Portman now. I don't think I do. And I don't think I did when I was young. But when I was younger, like in my teen years, people used to say I look like her. I was like a teenager. And I'm like, really? Thank you. And I got Helen Hunt a lot. And I got another one. I can't remember. She was on a show that I used to watch. I'm like, I don't see it. My mom uses YouTube 70% of the time. She wished she learned earlier. See, I know how to use it. I just wish I was more like, I wish it had like a remote or something. Like, I don't know, you're on your phone, you're trying to like scroll around and find a channel, and I don't know. It seems like it'd be like hard. Diddy, I'll have to look. Oh, I'll have to look over there. You can see the Natalie Portman resemblance. Yeah, they used to tell me that. I think it's when my hair was straight and stuff too. You guys can see it. They used to say like a young Helen Hunt, like, and I was like, huh. And there was the other one. I can't remember the other one, but I'm just like, thank you very much. And it would be like multiple people, like different places, and I'm just like, really, you think that? Always makes you feel good when they tell you look like a celebrity. Yeah, Tennessee gal. That's how I feel. I have a little piece of her over there. She has a little dove on top. A little thing. I don't know what it's called. It's ceramic. I found a couple of them at a boutique that I worked at. So I got 3 of them, I think. I gave one to my aunt, my brother, me. Maybe I did give one to my aunt. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Why would I give one to her? I wouldn't give one to her. My mom would be so mad if I did. I gave one to my brother, just me and my brother. Where's Mary Beth's comment? I could see that. Mary Beth. I still can't believe that, yeah, VHB is talking about, I can't believe she's talking about all this crap. I guess I was looking, what did T-Rev's been, with the, clickbait again, I guess. Look at this. Oh, wow. Okay. So he got me the other day because I went over there to snoop. I'll be so honest. I was going over there to snoop. I was like, is he back? Is T-Rev back? And so I went over there to look on his page because, I'm Snoopy McSnooperson. As you can see, I don't watch, his stuff. This is not him. This is someone else. I don't watch, his channel. He's not my cup of tea. But his last video was Richard Allen confesses on the stand during trial. No, he didn't. They got me on this one, though, right here. Kansas City 3 major update, multiple homicide charges coming. I looked this up and we covered this back in September. And he's saying this is new. I didn't even press on his video because I knew it was bunk. I was like, you ain't even getting my view. But now the music and stuff it did. It's like the music was funny. This one right here. But yeah. And then he went live. What about Sebastian? When will the circus of lies end? When you're off the platform? The fudge? Like, this is what happens. And then they go on right about their look, business as usual. He's already back up to 4.3K views. Just saying, this is what they do. And then, he has a second channel, of course, for his spirit box sessions. So, he's legit. If you got a spirit box channel, you're legit. You've made it. Too legit to quit. I couldn't listen to that. I wouldn't be able to listen. I would rip my hair out. Let's see if I see anything else on the old Twitter. People, some of the stuff that they say. I guess there's really nothing out here. Which is sad because, there was a lot of people talking about his case. Look, it is on Southern-ish. It says, look at this. Hold on. I'm like, hold on a second. I don't know who Beauty Bubble is, but they have 13.1K followers and says, Sebastian Rogers, Team Seth / co-plaintiff plans on moving to Tennessee as the popularity of the missing teen has yet to sustain traction on YouTube. Lawsuits, protective order violations, numerous trips, courtroom presences, protests, calls for justice, and bombastic conclusions. She says she's going to go there and move so she can vote for the next sheriff. Like her one vote could count. It could. But do you think it will? Probably not. Wow. This is all of her Leilani Simon stuff. It looks like. Look, there's Brian Kohlberger. Oh, it's like a collection of all of her crap. She'll be moving there live in jail on the 20th. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Well, we knew that she said she was going to like move there so she could like be like, I don't know, so she could vote. And I'm like, that's yeah, she don't like Craddock. She's gonna be behind bars. And then Craddock's gonna come visit her and be like, do you want to vote? Voting shuts down in 5 minutes. Yeah, Betty keeps calling the good channels hate channels and the pro Seth one's good, but too many lies and drama. I hate Tony big time because he threatened the chat friend. Wow. I mean, he's threatened a lot of people. A lot. Did you change your? Oh my God, you changed your picture, Mary Beth. Look how fast I knew that you changed that. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Looks very pretty, Mary Beth. Oh, I don't know. Shit, I don't know. So is he moving to Florida? And she moving there? I forget what you said now. He's moving to Florida? Man. Don't move for a woman again, Seth. You already you know. Not I'm not like he's moving for a woman, but oh my gosh, that guy just don't know when to stop, does he? I'm getting hungry. What do we got to eat around here? Nothing. We just had Chipotle earlier. I'm hungry again. I've been eating a lot more lately. I don't know what's going on. I'm not pregnant. No, I'm not. I don't know. I've been hungry. Been more hungry lately. Oh, okay. That's weird that he's visiting there. That means he's staying with her probably. You know that he is. Don't worry about getting a hotel. Just stay with me. Ooh. Well, then, I mean, I guess we'll see it all play out, you know? Thanks, Mary Beth. I'd be like, shut up. I'm online. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I wouldn't be around. Yeah, if I had children, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be alive with them around. You know what I mean? Just for the fact that like mommy may cuss. Unless they were like like a super like a baby, you know, and I'm like there's like a little vibrating seat here for a little baby to sit in. I wouldn't mind that. Sean and Betty, yeah. You know, a song just came into my head. That song off of oh my God, off of Dirty Dancing. I don't know why that song just popped into my head when I read Sean and Betty. Oh my gosh, they could do the dance and everything. I don't know why that song really just it like you know the beginning of it? Yeah, nobody puts baby in the corner. That'd be me. That would be me, and I would say that. And I'd jump up and be like, Betty. T Southern-ish said, I'm tired of people moving to my state. T-Rev moved here. Casey Anthony moved here. Now PHP. Man, I love the Casey Anthony one. I loved Patrick Swayze. I just loved him. They could braid each other's hair. Oh, they could. Because she likes to do the 2 braids and he does the one. I need to dress up like her one day just for fun. I wonder if I could. I mean, I could do the same braids because we have like the same amount of hair. We both have 0 hair. So I could do that. So the Florida is Betty's state. Tennessee is Seth's state. He was so handsome, I thought. Throw him a big old welcome party and keep him over that way. That's funny. Well, I'm going to jump off here. I appreciate you guys staying on and talking to me for a few minutes after the live. I just wanted to get you guys to hear that podcast. I thought it was something that was like actually factual about Sebastian's case. You know, there's this case is a big old mess. You know, I feel so bad for him. If he's out there and he's alive, I pray he hasn't heard any, I pray he hasn't heard any of this. And he comes back and is just, doesn't look up his name ever. I don't know. It's out there. It's out there now. But, you know, if he did come home, I would expect people that did videos, you know, about that kind of stuff, I would expect them to remove them. That would be the kind thing to do. But everyone pray tonight, you know, that Sebastian's found, that he's found alive, and that he's found well and alive. It's time that he comes home. It is November. We're going back into winter. We had spring, summer, fall. We're going back into winter. And we haven't got our boy back yet. So Sebastian Rogers is 5'5" from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He has sandy blonde hair, brown eyes, and he was last seen wearing all black glasses. He is autistic, so you know he may need some help getting to and from places because he does have a chromosome deletion syndrome as well. So with that being said, call 1-800-TBI-FIND if you know anything, see anything. Call your FBI agency or local agent office. Call your local PD. Call 911. Call your mama. Call someone that'll let someone know. You know what I mean? Call someone that'll let someone know if you've seen them. But thanks again for being here, guys. I do appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll do another day stream on the other channel. I'm not sure, but if we do, I'll let you guys know. It'll be, you know, obviously during the day. We usually do our night streams over here. Now, tomorrow we may still do 9:15, but I'm thinking we may go down to 8:15. I don't know for sure. We'll see how it goes. But with the sun going down sooner, I feel like people go to bed earlier. Do they or do they not? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But thanks again for being here. I'll see you guys all later. Bye, guys.